We are now going to be doing some file shares enumeration, domain enumeration. And like before, we are going to keep using Power View. You can see that I already imported Power View in here, and I did the first command, and it takes a little while to run. And that's why I ran this command before this video, because otherwise it was going to take a while. And as you can see in here, we have some defaults shares. We have this admin in here, the C, IPC, net logon, sysvol, which is, I believe, where the group policy is stored. We have admin, and you can see that the same ones in here for the DC, which is the oh, I forgot the name. Oh my god. So we have Active Directory, and then we just have the DC, which is the domain controller. Okay, domain controller, that's what it stands for. Then we have the web in here, and then we have one that is called file share. And as you can see in here, this is basically the only one that has a different name, which is called file share. And this one is for the file share, server. So we did some enumeration, and we found this file share in here. So I want to go to this location and see what we can find. So the quickest way to get there, you can even do it from, let's go ahead and just do it from PowerShare. If you do a CD, and if you get the fully qualified domain name, that should work. And then you want to get the name of it. What? And as you can see, we are now in that path, right? We are in the file share server. And if we do a dir to see what the content of it, you can see that we have a to-do text document, and we also have a secret. Let's go ahead and do a type, which is basically like doing cat in a Linux box, but you do type for Windows. And as you can see the content of it. This one says get rid of Windows 08 immediately. So that is telling you that this server is probably an 2008 server. And then we have a secret in here. Let's go ahead and do a type and then do secret and see what is in here. And you can see that we have some information stored in here. And this looks like it is encrypted. So let me see what this is. You can look for a decode base64 online decoder, because it looks like base64 decode. And I'm going to show you in here. I went to this website, base64decode.org, and I typed that code in here, and you can see that what's the password for the IPsec. And let's see if we are able to enumerate with that user. It looks like it's giving me the password for a user. So one of the things that I like to do also whenever I find a user like that, I like to do a get domain. Actually, we need to exit out of here, and then we are back into the host name, the same host name, because we stay in here. We just moved the to the file share. But let's go ahead and do a get domain user, and looks like it's frozen. Come on, doesn't let me do anything. There we go. Domain get. It's in a PowerShell. Did I not import PowerShell in here or Power View? Let's go ahead and do import again. Import module Power View. Oops, I guess I don't know how to spell import module Power View. Clear. Actually clear. And then we can run the get domain user, and if we give it name of IPsec, which is the user name that we found with a password, and you can see that this person is member of the test OU groups and the pen testing domain controller and local. So DC, meaning that this is the domain name, so he's part of that domain name, and he's only part of the, he's a member of the test user. So this test user, if we do a get domain, let's say groups, see what we can find in here. Test user, see if we can do a same account name and do test and do a recurse. Can I find recurse? I forgot to do that. Let's go ahead and just do same account, and you can see that get user test, the test group is part of the domain admin. So IPsec is basically part of the domain admin. So he's a domain admin, so he will be able to remote in. If we do a let's go ahead and clear this out, and we should be able to basically RDP into the AD. If you do an NS lookup AD dot pen testing dot local, get that IP address maybe. There we go. And we found that the password for IPsec is password 123. And yeah, it looks like we are going to be able to remote in into the into AD, into Active Directory. So that was a quick win, because IPsec is part of the domain controller. It's part of the test, and that test group is part of the domain controller. And we were able to find it by decoding with the base64decode.org website. And as you can see, the password is 123. So we were able to remote in into the AD in here. So that was a quick win. Let's go ahead and run another command that we could do, which this one, what it does is it just finds sensitive files on computers in the domain. So it's basically going to go into those file shares, and it's going to see if we can find some good stuff. And let's see what we can come up with, to see if we can come up with something better. But the only one that he found was that he found that secret.txt, which we already did found that it contained. If we do a let's see, can we do a type from here? See if we find the, yep, there we go. So even from this machine, we are able to do a type straight to the file share of the secret. And the secret, what it does is on base64, and you can decode it, and that will give you the username and password for IPsec or IPsec, whatever. IPsec is IPsec, which has, like I said, which had the username of IPsec, and it also had the password for it. And IPsec was part of the test group, and the test group was part of the domain admin. Therefore, IPsec was part of the domain admin, and we were able to remote in into the AD in here with IPsec credentials. And if you want to take a look at, so we can verify that we are actually IPsec. There we go. We if you do a who am I IPsec hostname, you can see that this is AD. Who am I groups. You can see that this guide is part of the built-in administrators, and also the part of the domain pen testing, and he's part of the domain admin. So you can take over the entire network right now because you are the domain admin. So that is great. You can also run another command, which is get all the file shares of the domain. And for this one, I was not, let's see, I don't think, yeah, this one didn't find anything. But with the other ones, with the find domain share, which is the first one that I ran that before the video, which is this one over here. This one was able to find all this information, where we found the file share for the file share for the file share server, we were able to change directory into the file share server, which we found a secret.txt. And then we also did another command over here, which this one, what it does is it looks for sensitive files on those file shares, and it was able to find that secret.txt that we found before when we invoked the first command, which is the get domain file server. So that's how you do a domain file shares enumeration.